Guys, I need you to do me a favor. Follow me on all my social media platforms. That's Facebook, that's YouTube, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, at Dmp Speaks. Now let's get into this conversation. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to Speak Out Loud Radio at Fire 716 Radio. Listen, I'm so glad to be with you on this afternoon. It is a great time to be alive. It's a great time for you to be alive. So let's celebrate life and peace and trust and strength and power. Everything that we have, we can't worry about what we don't have. Let's celebrate the things that we do have. With that introduction, welcome. Listen, today I'm going to get right into it. First of all, before I get into it, I hope that everybody's doing well. I hope you're staying safe. COVID is out there. Racism is out there, but you got to continue to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of the perfect stranger, because that's what it's all about, taking care of one another. So let's get into this topic today. The topic today that we're talking about is called and entitled, Make Your Own Path. That's what we're talking about on this afternoon. Again, I need you to listen in. Everybody that's on my pages, welcome, hello, I'm waving to you all. Please share this. Follow me here on all my social media platforms. Also, please download the Fire 716 app at the App Store and Android. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Today, I should say, it's not tonight yet. Today, talking about make your own path. Now, you might say, well, Dmp Speaks. Now, where are you going with this one? I like the last one and the one before, but you're talking about make your own path. Now, how do I do that? That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, one of the things that I like to do is kind of give you a little bit of foundation so that you'll understand where I'm coming from. So it's a lot of trends are out there, right? How to dress, how to look, who you should marry, who you should not be around, all different kinds of trends, what sneakers you should wear with this clothing and this. But my question is, do you have your own path? Do you have your own path that you are following? Because we really honestly can't follow everybody's path, and we can't follow everybody's trend. Everybody has a trend out these days and times, but we have to be able to follow and find our own path, right? So we can't follow everybody's trends. We can't follow everybody's path, but we have to have our minds transformed by the renewing of our minds. I'll say it again. We have to have our mind, our mentality to be renewed by the renewing of our minds, have to be transformed, right? So what does this mean? We have our own path that we have to follow. We can't be like everybody else. It's easy to be like everybody else, follow everybody, what everybody else is doing. But honestly, we can't be like everybody else. Think about that for a moment. And if we really want to change, we have to be transformed. We have to transform who we are, right? Not just what we say. We have to literally change our mentality. Because if we want to get somewhere in life, if we want to grow, if we want to mature, if we want to see something different, we have to be transformed in our minds, right? And one of the other things that I want to talk about really quickly is our words. Our words are powerful. They're either negative or positive, but they are powerful. So we have to watch what we say. I'm still talking about making your own path, because if you are putting out negativity, if you're putting out negative words, you're gonna receive negativity, because it's all about that sowing and reaping. If you're sowing into good ground, you're gonna reap some great things. But if you're sowing into bad ground, if you're putting out words that are not helpful, right? It's tearing down your family, it's tearing down yourself, it's tearing down your community, your church, for so on and so forth. Then that's the things that you start to read, right? And it has its repercussions. It has some things that are not really helping you in your daily life. Now, you've been going in this direction. We're still talking about make your own path for a while. Let's be honest. I even had to say that too. I had to put my hands up too. There was a path that I was particularly following. I grew up in church, right? Many of you probably grew up in church just like I did. And you felt like all the rules that they had and God's word, and you thought it was God's word, but it was actually, and I hate to say this, I know I'm going to get in trouble, and that's okay. They were man-made, right? And you were trying to find your own path. You were trying to follow the word of God, but you were following some of what man wanted to say, and you weren't really following what God wants to say. Now, I'm not preaching to you. I'm just giving you some things to kind of get some foundation, right? And you've been going in this direction, or you've been living a life that you know that you thought it was okay, right? You thought it was okay because you were a good person, but you know that the path that you were going on, it wasn't the greatest because you felt like you were missing something. You were going in the direction and it wasn't helping you. You were being around people, but it wasn't helping you. You were going on these lavish vacations, which is nothing wrong, but it wasn't helping you because you still felt that there was a pull and there was a tug to go a different direction, but you didn't do it because you were too afraid. Let that sink in for a moment. A lot of us are afraid to take our own path. And you might say, why are so many people so afraid to take their own path? Because it was designed for you to follow somebody else's path. It's sad to say, but let's be honest. Your parents did the best that they can to raise you, and they wanted you to do what they wanted you to do, but maybe that's not the path that God wanted you to have. I know I'm going to get in trouble. That's okay. I don't care no more because I'm here to help. I'm not here to make friends. I want you to really get what I'm saying today. You have to find a path that's working for you, that was designed for you, that was chosen for you. Because a lot of us, we play life very safely. I used to be that person. I would do life safe in a safe way. What I mean, I wouldn't take chances that I know that was for me. I wouldn't do certain things because I was scared of the repercussions from him, from her, from they. And I wouldn't move in the direction that I was supposed to be going into. So soon I started to realize I have to find my own path in my life. I can't allow other people to dictate or tell me what to do. Now, let me make this disclaimer too. There's nothing wrong with getting godly counsel. There's nothing wrong with getting somebody that really has your good intentions when they speak to you and they speak into your life and they pour into your life, right? But you want to still find the path that God has given you to have. Now, we have to remove ourselves from some choices, right? Some choices that we make are not the greatest for us. And they're not helping us grow. They're not helping us mature. It's not helping us. And you've been doing this for months. You've been doing this for years. And some of you almost gave up trying to be different, wanting to do something different for your life, wanting things to look a little differently than you're used to. But I want to tell you, you can't give up on your dreams. You can't give up on your visions. You can't give up anymore. Even if you gave up today, I want you to get back in the saddle and work that dream. I want you to get back in the saddle and work that vision. I want you to get back in the saddle and work what you have with your hands. If you're working with your hands, if you're working with your lips, if you're working with your brain, they all have to be in sync together to make your visions come. Again, we're still talking about make your own path. If you want to call into the radio station today, the number is 716-371-2780, extension 1. Again, that is 716-371-2780, extension 1. If you have a question, you have a comment, I would love to have a conversation with you guys, because this is exciting for me, because I'm giving you the power, I'm giving you the strength, and I'm allowing you to speak out, because that's what we have to do. We got to speak out loud and share this on your social media as well. Let's keep going on with the discussion. Some of us deal with trust issues. Again, we're going back to making our path. Why we're not Why we're not making them? Why we are not making that step? Some of us have trust issues from our past trauma. Some of us are dealing with grief. Some of us are dealing with abandonment, right? And we don't know what path or what journey to take. But we truly have to learn, and I say this a lot, we have to, keyword, learn how to let go and find our own path. I know it's hard to break away from the norm. I know what it feels like to break away from things that people have told you. And you knew that you had more in you. You knew that you had another level in you. You knew that you had another ministry. You know you had another degree to go get. You had another idea. You had another concept, right? But you were too afraid because you've been told all your life that you will never be anything. You've been told by that boyfriend you will never find anybody. You will never be happy. Nobody will never love you like I did. But they were abusing you. That's a whole nother situation for another day, another conversation. But I think it's important to talk about this. You might say, why are you going so deep when it's talking about make your own path? Because a lot of us are we're sitting in a place right now, not so much physically, but mentally and emotionally, even psychologically, that we won't move forward in our lives because we are afraid, because we've been told all our lives that we will never be who we destined to be. And I'm coming to say that's a lie. I'm one of these lie breakers. I'm one of these generational lie breakers. If somebody has told you that you will never be, you have to spend the rest of your life, not for them, but to prove it to yourself that the path that you want to make, the path that you need to get on, it is for you. It is not for them or your mom or your dad. It is for you, ma'am. It's for you, sir. Right? And being focused is a priority. Let me say that one more time. Make sure this is on. Being focused is a priority. Why is being focused a priority? I'll tell you really quick. It helps you redirect your mind on what you need right now. See, you have to put some things in perspective. And everybody can't do it for you. You really have to take some time to see, what do I need? What do I need in my life? What do I need right now? What do I need to make where do I need to make some changes in my life? Right? I have to make me a priority now. I have to make who I am a priority. I have to make my future a priority. And learning how to say no is one of the most powerful things I have learned in the last 2 or 3 years. Learning how to say no is powerful. You know why it's powerful? Because it gave me an opportunity to focus on myself, to find and spend some time with myself, to find what path, what journey, what lane I need to be in and stay in that lane. Because a lot of times we get out of our lanes, or we see the path that we're supposed to go through, and we won't do it, right? I'll even say this, it's more than just fear. It's more than just fear. You know what it is? We don't believe in ourselves like we should. I know it's scary. Doing this radio station, doing this radio telecast, this broadcast, that is something I had to find out. This was part of my path. I didn't know when it was going to come, but I knew it was going to come soon. You know why? Because I knew this is a part of my path. I knew that this is something I needed to do, not just for me. It's not just a me thing, because what I do is not just for me. It is to help you and other ones that are listening. When I'm in the community and when I'm helping at my local church, while I'm working with these young men that I work with during the day that are on probation. That's who it's for. Because sometimes we always think it's about us. Getting on your path is not just for you. It's for the people that you're supposed to help. It's the people that you're supposed to pour into. So you have to be focused on your priorities, right? And growing and stabilizing yourself for anything that comes your way, because you're going to have some obstacles. You're going to have some people that don't want you to have or find your own path. There are people right now probably mad that I'm doing this radio station, and guess what? I do not care. I know that sounds real rough or rigid, but I don't, because I know I found my path. I found what I'm supposed to be doing on top of other things. And I'm content and I'm happy in what I do, because it brings not only joy, but it brings self-actualization, that I'm in a place where I need to be. I'm not some place that somebody just wants me to be. This is where I'm purposed to be. And you got to find where your purpose to be, not just to become, but to be. Placement. You can't do like everybody else. I used to feel like I had to do like everybody else. I had to follow the same path that everybody else. And then I found out, and God was speaking to me, this is not the path that you're supposed to go through or go to or be on. I have made a path for you that is mighty sweet. And when I use that word sweet, because you might have some rugged edges, but God will always make sure that you have a path that he has placed for you. And because he has a path that is placed for you, you got to get on that path and you got to get busy. Again, things will come to take your focus, but let this be a friendly reminder. Nothing can get you off your path once you're on it. Now, you can allow it. It's going to come. Obstacles, situations, loss, grief, all of that. Decision making, that's a big one. Should I continue on this path? Maybe this job is not it. Maybe this school is not it. Maybe this relationship is not it. But you will find it when you spend some time to really focus yourself and remind yourself you're on this journey for a reason. So you're going to feel some hurt sometimes. You're going to feel some pain, but find your path. Don't try to be like anybody else. Be your authentic self. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Be your authentic self. This is so important, to be you. You know why it's so important to be you and know what you're doing and find your path? Because it's building time. We're in 2022 and we're almost in June, almost the halfway mark of this year. It is building time, because if you have not been building, it's time to build. I'll say it again. If you have not been building yourself up and finding your path, it's time to build. Now, I want to remind you all at this point right now in the show, if you want to call in, you have the free right to do. Please call 716-371-2780, extension 1. Again, that's 716-371-2780, extension 1. And please share this with everyone that's on my social media platforms. I greatly appreciate your support. Now, where I want to kind of go into another area of the Speak Out Loud. And I want to just throw a question out to you as well. And I'm going to give you some pointers. What does your path look like? What does your path look like? Because remember, everybody's path is different. I want to pose that question to you on social media and on the radio station. What does your path look like? Because it could be new and it could be scary, but what is it supposed to look like? Have you made time to really look at the path that you need to be on, the street, the road that you need to be on? What is it supposed to look like? Have you made that time? Have you dedicated yourself to find out, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be at this time in my life? And maybe you know and you haven't got there, but this is not the time to beat up on yourself. This is the time to say, okay, I do need to make some adjustments. I do need to make some changes so that I can get back on my path. It happens. You know why? Because life happens. Life comes with swift transitions. It does. It comes with swift transitions. There's a lot of transitions that I have been a part of. And if I could be transparent, as I speak right now, they're burying my father's brother, 98 years old. He lived a long life. And my heart is there in Alabama, where my father's from. They're burying him today. So I'm praying for the Pinkston family down in Alabama. I'm just sending love to you guys. Now, why did I do that? Because I know the path that my family's been on, our ups and downs, even personal ups and downs, but we stayed on the path of belief. We stayed on the path of trust. We stayed on the path of looking to God for strength. And I want to let you know, even if you're on the path right now and it's rugged, there's mountains that's just coming out of the blue. There's situations that you just didn't even know that was coming. You can make it. I'll say that again. You can make it. You can make it. I want to give you just a few things for a few moments that I feel like will be able to help you in your life. Just simple 3 things. If you got your phone out, if you got your tablet, whatever that you have, I want to give you these 3 things really quick, and I want to open up the phone lines, and we're gonna go forward with these 3 things. The first thing is, I want you to learn how to clean up your environment and your atmosphere. In order to have or find your path, you got to remove some things that's in your way. Sometimes it's good to just remove toxicity out of your life. That could be a person or people. It could be situations. It could be conversations that you're a part of, gossiping, putting your time into that doesn't help you. And we talked about mindset a lot, but it also could be the people that you're around. It's the things that you're involved in. Sometimes being on social media, it's not so much always a bad thing. A lot of times it's a good thing, but a lot of times it could be what you indulge in. So you got to clear up some things in your life, and got to find out what do you need and what you don't need. So you got to remove some of those things. And then with finding your own path, sometimes you got to do it scared. That means you gotta go past your fear. You gotta go past your own limitations. I've had some limitations in my life. I had some things that didn't go as planned, and I limit myself because those things didn't happen. So I started to limit what I was capable of. I limit my capabilities. But I had to learn how to remove those things by saying I can do this. I got to find a way, but I can. I started with I can. And then from I can to I will. So sometimes you got to say, I can do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I can do this. And after I say I can, and after you say I can, you got to say I will. I want you to put that in the comments, and I want you to make this an addition to your own affirmations that you say, I can and I will. I can and I will, because you have the ability, I can, but you have to follow that I can to I will. So that I will is action. You got to do it scared. Even if nobody else goes with you, you got to do it by yourself. You have to sometimes empower yourself. I get happy, I get passionate about this because I get this opportunity to speak into your lives today. You got to do it scared. Sometimes you got to stand still, or you got to get in that driver's seat. You got to buckle yourself up and throughout all the constant pressures, and you got to go for it. I can and I will. You got to do it by yourself. I can and I will. Even if nobody else wants to go with me, I can and I will. Last thing is, you need accountability partners, people that you can rely on while you're on this path. Because like I said, repetitively, you're going to find yourself in a place sometimes by yourself, right? But you need some people that's going to hold you accountable. People that's going to tell you, listen, hey, as my mother used to say, your slip is showing. Your slip is showing. That means you're not on that. You're not where you used to be before. You got to get back on that path. You need some accountability partnerships. You need somebody that's really going to hold you down, tell you about yourself, right? And as we know, partnerships in business is important, right? So if partnerships in business is important, what about your life? I know I'm giving you some fire this afternoon. What about your life? You need some accountability partners to help you in this life, right? To keep you on your path. Because again, direction is important to have, because if you don't have any direction, where are you going? My goodness gracious. I'll say it again. If you don't have no direction, right, where are you going? You got to know where you're going. You got to find where you're going. And your path is important because it's your life. Your path, I'll say it again, your path is important because it's a part of your life and your future. Your path, it will not always make sense. My path in my life did not always make sense to me. It didn't. It confused me. I was all over the place until I said, Lord, I need your help. I need you to show me where I'm supposed to go. I need you to show me what direction I'm supposed to go, because I feel lost right now. And because I kept saying it, I was so consistent with it, I found my path. And guess what? You can do the same thing. Listen, guys, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the show. Download the Fire 716 app. Listen, be a part of this new tribe. Speak out loud. I'm telling you, we are taking over, as the juvenile said, for the 99 and 2000. We are taking over, but in a good way, because we're going to empower the community. We're going to strengthen you guys. We're going to give you some great things. We're going to be out in the community, and the summertime is going to be exciting. Listen, you do not want to miss what we have. This is Fire 716 Radio. Speak out loud. Let's get it, y'all.
Speak out loud. I hope that inspired you, motivated you, and I want to help you become the best version that you can be. Please follow me on all my social media outlets: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, at Dmp Speaks.
It's Fire 716. Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning, Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air, Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it here. Hey.
Yes, please do.
I'll do a church with it on today or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I ain't going.
You got to, man. You got to. I'm going to put this in quick. Okay. All right.